and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to videotape this coaching session. As I explained to you, that part of my accreditation or certification is to videotape a recording and submit it to the Berkeley Coaching Institute in order to get my coaching certificate.
Awesome.
Oh, so I thank you for agreeing to do this.
Well, thank you for having me. This is nice.
So do you have any questions though about the process, you know?
No, so far, I'm just ready to get started.
All right, then, great. Then, so my first question is, what initially prompted you to ask me to be your coach?
You, your personality, just the few weeks that I've known you, I have found that we have such a kindred spirit. So that's very, very important to me. Okay, so you tell me about your journey,
Mm-hmm.
and your journey is also going to help me with my journey.
Okay, all right. Well, great. Have you experienced working with a coach before?
That is so ironic that you would ask that. Let me tell you, since the first of the year,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the opportunity to participate in a diet weight loss program. And in this program, we were assigned our personal coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done one-on-one
Oh,
coaching sessions with a weight loss coach. Now, I have to take it a little further because I have been in weight loss programs before. I've done Weight Watchers, I've done Nutrisystem, I've done you name it, and I've done it and have not been successful.
Okay.
Now, since January and the end of March, I have lost 25 pounds.
Oh, well, great! Congratulations!
I'm telling you. And let me tell you, no one could have ever told me that I would have lost 25 pounds in that short amount of time.
Yes.
Now, I contribute 80% of it to having a one-on-one coach.
Okay.
Because
all right.
she has been able to address what my needs are.
Okay.
She has been able to counsel me on my weak spots.
Mm-hmm.
She has also, on every occasion, tells me I am not a professional.
Okay, great.
But I am here to help you do this journey. And that has been the reason it's been successful.
Oh, ditto. I mean, what you just described, I could not have articulated better about the same it is an identical process. I am not a psychologist. I'm not here to advise you and tell you, I'm not here to advise you or to fix you. You know, I am here to, as you said on an occasion, to walk with you through this journey, you know, and help you to find out more about who you are and what's important to you and what make you tick. So that's what I see my job. So I'm so encouraged to know that you have had a coach and continue to have a coach.
Yes.
Tell me more. How long has that process been?
This process has been since January.
Okay.
And I have committed to an actual 18-month coaching session.
Okay, great. Okay.
Because we can't really put a timeline on what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, but the coaching is working.
I agree. Thank you for sharing that. Now, before we get started in our coaching sessions, I'd like to kind of like share some ground rules, or to create the environment for you.
Okay.
And so let me assure you that I respect and value confidentiality. It's a value. So you can understand that everything that you say will be kept here.
Okay.
Even though we're making a videotape, The videotape is going, like I said, to my coach and also to the people at the Berkeley Institute to view it and to examine my coaching skills.
Okay.
You may have a copy of the videotape if you would like to review it later. Okay? You may find that very helpful.
Okay.
So the other thing is that I have no hidden agendas. I have no expectations that you need to meet. My job, as I see it sincerely, is to create a safe environment, a trusting environment for you to explore what options that you have and to discover what's important to you.
Okay.
So is there anything that you need to have happen in order to create an environment that will work for you?
Okay. Well, one of the things that just from knowing you is that I know that you and I, like I said, we have this kindred spirit. And I know that I can talk to you about anything. I trust you. And likewise, you have already just invited me into your home and having me to participate in your journey. It's a win-win. I think it's going to be a win-win. I know it's going to be a win-win for both of us. Okay?
I'm encouraged. I am encouraged. But you know what I need right now? You know, I just met you, and do you mind spending a little time telling me a little bit more about Glenda? You know, who is Glenda? You know?
Oh, goodness. Good question.
So excuse me, do you mind if I take notes while
Please,
you
by all
speak?
means.
Okay, all right.
Okay. I was just reading an article a few weeks ago about a syndrome, and it's just so ironic that I'm able to share this particular syndrome with you, and this is what describes me. It's called the duck syndrome. I know it sounds funny, but when you think about a duck gliding across the lake, it's so serene and they're just so beautiful, and you just get lost in just watching them. But that duck, which no one really knows, underneath there, that duck is paddling crazy, fighting against all the elements and the turmoil and just to stay afloat. So it's not as serene as it appears. And that's me.
So you're using this analogy. Help me to make the comparison between the duck and Glenda.
I have literally gone through life or go through life. Everyone sees me as this, I've got it all together. But underneath, I struggle. I struggle with loneliness. My biggest factor that's going on with me right now, which is the reason I'm so excited about you and your program assisting me, is at this age, I have not defined what my purpose in life is.
Okay.
And I know that to some people would think, what? That is so right now, that is so important to me.
Okay. Great. This is a good beginning.
Yeah.
Tell me about what's happening, similar to the duck. What's happening with you underneath the water? What is the turmoil that's going on with the paddling, trying to keep afloat? What's the symbolism of that?
For me, the struggle is trying to, and I can bring my family life into it.
Okay.
I am the middle child of a family that is very, very dysfunctional. I can be honest with you. I come from a family with serious bipolar mental issues. Fortunately, I have not been clinically diagnosed.
Okay. All right.
So, in that sense, I know that part, I'm winning that. But at the same time, I'm constantly being pulled at from all angles. Whenever there's a crisis in the family, it's me that they call. Whenever someone needs something fixed, I'm the solution for the problem. But I've done that all my life.
Oh,
Never have I really addressed or dealt with, what about me? What about me? So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I'm struggling with that. What is my purpose?
Okay.
What is
Okay.
my purpose?
Let's deal with this question that you just asked. What about me? What about me? What is it that you want the answer to that question to address? What about me?
I need to be able to understand where I'm at in life and how to get through this loneliness, this feeling of abandonment that constantly is part of my life. As I stated earlier, I'm like that duck. No one knows that, but I know that I'm struggling with my own insecurities,
Okay.
my own low self-esteem.
Okay.
The average person who looks at me would never think that I have low self-esteem, but I do.
Let's try to unbundle
Okay.
what you just shared. Let's try an activity here, an intervention,
Okay.
and let's call it the river of life.
Okay.
And may I suggest that this river represents your life, and I want you to kind of reflect back, because when I hear you using word terminology like low self-esteem, insecurities, I want you to kind of discover what significant emotional events that may have happened to you in your life that could initiate those feelings. So if you would draw a river,
Okay.
and river flows, So on this side, I want you to share with me what are some significant emotional events that happened to you personally. You can be, succinct, that caused you to make some decisions about who you are, or some conclusions about what about you.
Okay.
So some significant emotional events that happened that I want you to explore.
So, am I using this river like as my timeline?
A timeline, that would be an excellent description.
Okay.
Like a timeline, yes.
Okay. All right. So, as I was born, I have 4 brothers and sisters,
Okay.
7, and I'm in the middle of those.
Okay.
Out of the 5, I'm in
Okay.
the middle.
Okay,
So I was born in Louisville, Kentucky.
okay,
I worked I started working early.
okay.
I was very smart.
Okay,
Okay, I'm just gonna say I was very smart. Scholastically in school,
Yeah.
I was the
Good.
A1 student. I did not go to college in the beginning
okay,
because my mom just did not have the energy.
okay,
And I don't blame her for that. But so I was very fortunate that I was able to start working at AT&T at a very early age, AT&T. And the reason I worked at AT&T because I could type very fast.
okay, okay,
Back in the 70s, I could type 120 words a minute. So I worked at AT&T, as I grew older, met my ex-husband, married him. We got married. Years later, we had a baby. We moved, we relocated, still having a career at AT&T, got divorced, still having a career at AT&T, being a single mom with a career at AT&T. But what I discovered along that side of the river is that, yes, I'm a strong.
So that's where I want you to list up. So you said that the significant emotional events that happened showed you that you were smart, and you accomplished, you were able to secure a job, that you also married, and you also got a divorce and became single, but you were a parent, and you were a single parent.
Yes, ma'am.
So continue. What did those significant emotional events tell you about you?
That I'm very resilient.
Write that down. Write that down.
All right.
Okay.
I was still able to.
So just list.
Okay,
list those
I'm
things.
strong.
Okay.
I was resilient.
Okay.
I am intelligent.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Kind.
Okay.
Kind. I've been kind along the way. Those were some of the things that I discovered about myself on that side of the river. That's growing up on the personal side.
Okay. So then on this side of the river is professional, right? What significant emotional events that happen in your professional, work, business?
I was able to maintain a career at AT&T.
Okay.
I was successful as a business consultant.
Okay, all right.
I was involved in many of the activities. Back in the day, we had campaigns, and I was always a top seller and the team lead. I was always that motivator for everyone else. Okay. So those personal side and the emotion and the personal side and the professional side still all played the same part. I was the cheerleader.
Okay.
Same way when I was married, I was the cheerleader. I kept everyone rah-rah. You can do it.
So list some of the, so over on this side you list skills like you were smart. List some skills over here on this side of the river, professional and business, that you can extrapolate from just what you just shared.
Okay.
What are some of those?
I was a go-getter.
Okay, all right,
I was
great.
a go-getter.
Okay, great.
I was always on time.
Oh, great.
So, I mean...
Which is what's expected of you at AT&T.
Right. At AT&T, I was dependable.
Great.
I was dependable. I was always their go-to girl. You could go to Glenda and ask her anything, and I'd have an answer. And if I didn't have an answer, I'd find out. So that's how it was professionally.
So when you take a look at this river, what you've been able to point out is all these wonderful attributes about Glenda. Can you help me to understand then where the low self-esteem and the insecurities?
I know that's that duck. That duck keeps creeping back up. She keeps creeping up because this is all surface, but never dealing with the turmoil of a failed marriage, of a not having literally being ashamed of the family, because I was always I really couldn't take people home with me. Or I couldn't tell anybody about what my struggles were, and why on my vacation I would have to go home and maybe have someone in a mental institution.
Okay.
Those things. Now at this point in my life, it's like I've done all of that. What about now? What about me?
What about me? What about me?
And that's my struggle, Miss Tillie. It's what about me?
What about so getting back to what you originally said to me early in the conversation, that you feel that if you could identify your purpose or your mission statement, that would answer this question or need, what about me?
I think it will help me because I think I sometimes I feel like I'm broken.
Okay.
But yet I'm not broke.
Broken. Okay.
And that's
I
not
can
weird.
No. I mean, I've heard that. Excuse me. It's okay.
I'm okay.
You're
I'm
okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
because it was uncomfortable for you.
No, ma'am.
Because tears are okay with me.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I'm feeling it.
okay.
And this is what I need.
Okay, great. Okay, all
Because I
right.
don't get to do this. I
Well,
don't get to talk like
yeah.
this to anyone.
Well, I am pleased, and that you feel comfortable in opening up and sharing and sensitively self-disclosing. So I can see Glenda and who you are, and what I see is all of those attributes: a smart, intelligent, warm, outgoing person. You know, a single mom who was able to accomplish raising a child. I see a person who did well in their business life, and so I see those things. And what we're going to address is that this need that you feel that you don't have a purpose, or the need that you feel like you don't know your mission or what you're about.
Right.
Similar to the river of life, that I want to put this river of life aside.
Okay.
But can we do that knowing that I'm going to reference this?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
ma'am.
moving forward,
Yes,
we're going to
ma'am.
use all of the things that you were able to extrapolate from that
Okay.
to help you to get closer into what are some of these feelings of insecurity that this duck having to try to stay afloat.
I know.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but I would like to share an experiment with you, intervention, if you're open to it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is taken from a class that I do in helping people to discover their purpose. So it may tend to be kind of emotional. So and that's okay with me if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then would you trust me by closing your eyes? I want you to clear your mind of anything except my voice and what I am asking you to do. I don't want you to worry about how this may look, or I don't want you to worry about your schedule or how much time it's going to take. I just want you to focus. Just focus on what I'm saying. And could you just really open up your mind? In your mind eye, see yourself going to a funeral of a loved one. Picture yourself driving to the funeral parlor or chapel, parking the car, getting out, and as you walk inside the building, you notice the fragrance of the flowers. You hear the soft organ music. You see the faces of friends and family as you pass along the way. You feel the shared sorrow of losing and the joy of having known. And all of this radiates from the hearts of the people that are there. As you walk down to the front of the room and you look inside the casket, you suddenly come face to face with yourself. You okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm good.
This is your funeral. And it could be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but all of these people have come to honor you, to express feelings of love and appreciation for your life. As you take a seat and you wait for the service to begin, you look at a program in your hand, and there are 4 speakers. The first is from a family member, immediate or extended. It could be your mother, it could be your sister, it could be a cousin. The second speaker is one of your friends, someone who can give a sense of what kind of person you were. The third speaker is a coworker or someone from your professional life. And the fourth but not least is someone from your church or civic organization of where you were involved in service to others. Now, Glenda, think deeply. What would you like each of these speakers? Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm okay.
What would you like each of these speakers to say about you and your life? What kind of sister? What kind of mother? What kind of friend? What kind of working associate? What character would you like for them to have seen in you? What contributions and accomplishments would you want them to remember? Look carefully at the people around you. What difference would you like to have made in their lives?
Mm-hmm.
Open your eyes.
I was gonna say, can I open my eyes?
Open, yes,
Okay.
open your
All
eyes.
right.
I
Sorry.
want you to take, kind of like keep this because that's the river that we're gonna revisit. But I want you to jot down some impressions,
Okay.
starting with a family member.
Okay. I'll start with my younger sister.
Okay.
My younger sister would be very tearful that she's lost someone that she has totally depended on from the day she was born. She's 4 years younger than me, and she was always my baby doll. Still is. So she would feel, who do I go to now? Who am I going to talk to? But at the same time, she would say, my life has been fulfilled for having such a wonderful sister that I looked up to.
Okay.
And I say that in every respect because she's always seen me be the strong person, the one that she'd come to, the problem solver. Likewise, my mom would get up and talk, and she would say, this is the child that broke all the rules. If we said, Glenda, don't go down that road, she would say, why not?
Okay.
And go down that road. Again, she would be the one that would say, she never gave me any problems.
Okay. I hate to interrupt you, but
Okay.
I want you to also, the value of our time together. So you talked about your sister. What about your friend?
My best friend would say, she's the one that came at 12 years old and said, let's go find some boys to throw rocks at.
Okay.
Okay. My best friend would say, there's never been a dull moment.
Mm-hmm.
She should have been a stand-up comedian
Mm-hmm.
because she can make you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Even in bad times, she'll find some humor. My coworkers would say that I've always brought joy to the office.
Okay.
I've always never had a bad day. Never saw me come in with my head down. Never brought any problems. No one would ever thought or would ever think that I had problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had a coworker ask me once, how is it possible that you can be happy every day? No one is happy every day.
That's a duck, huh?
And I said, well, I am. And I'm not going to share anything else with you but that. So that's what they saw.
Okay.
And that's what I was.
Mm-hmm.
Just a duck floating along,
Okay.
dealing with all the turmoil and anxiety and disappointments and rejections and, along the way.
the most important way to begin to develop a personal mission statement or a purpose statement, or you could call it a philosophy, is to begin with the end in mind. And that was the purpose of having you to attend your funeral. So I began to ask you to focus on what you want to be, the character. I also wanted you to focus on what you want to do or what kind of contributions or achievements. So, but what we need to also deal with is what values or principles that you would want to base this on. So I need to give you an assignment for you to explore and delve deeply into the response to these questions. So from the funeral intervention, just what did you discover about?
Well, first of all, I was very emotional, and it made me tearful because I know at this point in my life, I want to have a purpose.
Okay.
And just in everything that I described, I still do not feel that I have totally, I know I haven't met my purpose.
Okay. Okay.
That's gonna probably, as you were talking about, a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere I need to figure out what is my purpose.
So the intervention of beginning with the end in mind is the first step.
Okay.
Developing your personal mission statement is a process.
Okay.
And I need to let you know it cannot be accomplished in 30 minutes, 60 minutes. It cannot be accomplished in 2 weeks or maybe 6 months.
Okay.
So I guess the question that I want you to consider, how important it is to you and how much time, energy, and money are you willing to invest in this process?
Okay. Well, based on just how emotional I got from attending my own funeral, I would say that there is no limit as to what I want to utilize as far as digging deep inside of me.
Okay.
'Cause this is important to me.
Okay. All right.
This is not something that I'm taking lightly.
Okay.
And as I explained earlier, the weight loss coaching session has inspired me because I know just from that one-on-one experience
Mm-hmm.
with a professional that is not judging me,
Mhm.
but is guiding me and giving me all those missing elements. It puts me right back to I'm strong and I am intelligent and I can do all things. And that's what I'm missing right now. That I know that I need to accomplish. I'm going to accomplish that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again,
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
going,
you.
okay,
Thank you.
but at the same time, yes.
Mm.
So to answer your question, I'm willing to put in whatever time it takes. I'm ready to be committed
Mhm.
because this is important. This is not a joke for me. This is serious.
It seemed to me that you were very clear about the function and how important one understands their purpose and their mission.
Mm-hmm.
Because it answers some fundamental questions like, why am I here? And to share personal experience, I believe that we're all here that's for service. And the service is the rent that we pay for being here. And I can share with you that I too have taken that journey. That's why I'm willing to accompany you on the journey of the wonderful journey of discovering your personal mission statement, because it is a journey. But what you walk away from that with is answers to fundamental questions like, why am I here? You know, why am I here? What's my purpose for being?
Right.
And that motivates you, that inspires you. I mean, that kind of dictates how you show up and been present in every interaction when you have with another person, because your purpose is to leave them a little bit better because they have experience talking to you or meeting you, you know?
Okay.
So I want to let you know that I am excited about this journey, and there is some homework that I would ask for you to do, and tell me how you feel about homework.
Not a problem.
Not a problem?
Not a problem.
So there are some things that I'm going to ask you to work on. You see these questions and responses that you had to what you want your mother to say about you, your daughter to say about you, your friend to say about you in the business. So I want you to capture that.
Okay.
But there are some other questions, and here I want to walk through them. I want you to try answering this question like,
Okay.
who am I? Who am I? I mean, you don't have to do it now, but this is something that I want you to work on in the interim.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to walk through your responses to these questions,
Okay.
similar to what we've done today.
Okay.
The other one is, after all is said and done, what is the most important thing in life?
Okay.
So that's one of them. What's the most important thing in life after all is said and done to you? And then the other question here is, I am truly happy when. I am at my best when.
Okay.
Okay? And then here it says, what are some of my possible goals that I'd like to accomplish?
Okay.
So I want you to take the time, find a quiet space and complete the answers to these questions. And I also want to show you that from your responses, we're going to be able to come up with a draft mission statement, just a statement.
Okay.
And that statement will answer the question, why am I here? What's my purpose, okay? So let's talk about our next session.
Okay.
Where would you like to meet? I mean, you're welcome to my home, but what other place would be conducive for you?
I'm open.
You're open? Okay.
I'm open for suggestions.
Mhm.
It could be my house
Okay.
or.
Would you like to consider going to a park even?
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
All
you
right.
thought about that.
Okay, yes.
That would be a serene environment.
Yes. It would be ideal for you to contemplate your belly button and kind of figure out. So make it light of this. But okay, so how much time do you think you're going to need in order to come to up with some responses to these questions and to kind of put together a draft statement of what all of this means?
I'm thinking a week or two, maybe.
A week or two, okay. All right. Well, let's compare. What dates would work best? What works best for you?
Fridays are my best day.
Okay, Friday's your best day.
Because I don't work on Fridays. So Friday mornings, 9, 10 o'clock are good time frames for me.
So since you need some quality time to process these questions, let's say 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks from this coming Friday.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll meet. And we'll schedule an hour. And like I told you, there's no way we can develop a personal mission statement in 1 meeting or 2 meetings. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So kind of clarify to me what you got out from this session.
What I got out of this session is basically an introduction that you and I are going to work through my turmoil underneath that water.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm not only am I gonna, I think I'm gonna just get rid of the ducks. I'm just gonna be on a plane and I'm just gonna glide across the water without even being concerned about the turmoil. That's my expectation.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, and as I stated earlier, I do believe that coaching helps. it not necessarily solve the problem, but it does help you to identify and move forward. Like I said, I've never experienced coaching until this year, and I would recommend anyone, if you have the opportunity, if you're committed to the time, invest in someone that can help you along the way. And like I said, I don't like to use the word that I'm broken.
Okay, great. I agree.
I don't like to use broken.
Oh, I agree, because you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, so well put together,
But
so intelligent. Yes.
But I need fixing. I think I do.
You need to discover.
Yes.
You need to discover
Yeah.
why you feel like
Yes.
you need fixing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, clarify for me again what you're going to do in the interim.
Okay.
What do you understand the expectations that you're going to be working on between now and our next meeting?
That I'm going to work on answering some of these questions that you have identified here.
Okay.
We're going to share that,
Okay.
dig a little deeper,
Okay.
and come up with a mission statement. And not overnight. It may be, Miss Tillie, it might be this time next year.
We'll try to expedite the process, okay? Okay.
All right.
Yes. Good. So again, let me just take this time to thank you. Thank you for trusting me and sensitively self-disclosing and showing me your heart. You know, thank you for the opportunity for me to share this journey with you, because I am so excited for you, because I know how important it is to identify and answer the question, why am I here? What's my mission? What's my purpose? It gives life more meaning and gives life meaning. And so thank you for allowing me to share that journey with you.
Thank you. I think we should hug.
Okay.